Today, we are dining at Disney World's newest restaurant. This is Bourbon Steak, an upscale signature dining experience located at the Dolphin Resort, offering complimentary French fry flights, impressive bites, cocktails, and more. It's opening day, it's expensive, and I'm gonna let you know if it's worth checking out. Bourbon Steak by Chef Michael Mina officially opens tonight, replacing the legendary Shula's Steakhouse. Now, I was here just a few days ago for a media event, checking out all of the food a bit early, and I was completely blown away by some of the things that I tried, so I already know we're gonna be in for a treat tonight. I am so psyched to be back to try even more of the menu and share it with you guys, so let's head inside. So you may be noticing the restaurant does still look very similar to Shula's from what I remember at least. We've just got some fresh new paint on the walls, some new furniture, and some new artwork. And one thing I found really interesting is that the staff is completely the same. So if you were a regular at Shula's, expect to see some familiar faces. And let me just say, all of the staff so far has been super helpful, super friendly, and all of you guys who I've already met here tonight all seem very happy that the staff has stayed the same because you already have all your favorite servers and stuff, and I could tell why. Everyone is like just so friendly here. They've given me all their suggestions, but like I said, I have already been here just a couple of days ago and I've tried a ton of the menu. I already have some favorites, but I don't want to try any of the stuff that I have already had. I'm still going to go over some of the stuff that I already had with you guys, but I want to try new stuff that I haven't already had tonight. So I'm going to kind of broaden my horizons and try some stuff that I haven't had yet before. And to do that, the first thing I want to look over are the beverages. So we'll flip through, I'll show you guys all of the different cocktails. They have a famous martini, as you can see. They also have a blueberry martini. I hear they used to have a blueberry martini at Shula's that was like a beloved cocktail. I'm not sure if it's the exact same, but you guys could kind of read the ingredients and determine if it is the same or similar. I'm not totally sure. They have this drink with rye and ginger liqueur and sassafras. That sounds interesting. They have the Ring of Fire, which I was actually able to try the other day. It has some mezcal and Aperol. I really enjoyed it. They also have this friendly face drink with some Buffalo Trace. The Fruit Ninja sounds really good. It kind of sounds like almost a margarita. This Concrete Jungle. Wow, a lot of these drinks sound delicious. They have a classic Hugo Spritz. The Bayside sounds right up my alley, but right next to that is a drink that sounds even more up my alley, an Espresso Martini. I hear their Old Fashioned is delicious, and then right below that, they've got some non-alcoholic options as well. But you guys know me. A new restaurant means a new espresso martini. And of course, I've got to try it out. This is the Carajillo Espresso Martini. It has Lobos Reposado, Spanish brandy, coffee, liqueur, and espresso for $19. Guys, I have to say, if you look up a photo of Kristen's perfect espresso martini, this would be exactly what it looks like. And not only that, the first thing I noticed when I picked up this glass is that the glass is chilled, and that is the attention to detail that I love to see, especially from a fancy place like that. A chilled glass, I don't think I have ever had an espresso martini served in a chilled glass before. I absolutely love to see that. The foam is thick. It smells strong and looks insane. I can't wait to try this out. Let's just do it. I think it is safe to say that that is incredible. It is so smooth and it hits every single note that I love to see in an espresso martini. The foam there is so incredibly thick that it adds that creaminess that I just absolutely love. And it is so cold that it is just like, I really feel like that's the kicker here. Like, the coldness is just so almost like refreshing, which is weird to say from an espresso martini, but that chilled glass is just such a game changer, and I really hope that's something that like doesn't go away and something that continues, because it really truly sets it apart. Like, you wouldn't think that it would make that big of a difference, but it really makes such a big difference. I've had so many espresso martinis in my day, and it's a tiny detail, but it really, truly makes a world of difference. We've got a slight vanilla flavor in there, strong espresso flavors, great tequila flavor in there. Man, this is fantastic. And you guys might know my favorite espresso martini on property is coming from Wine Bar George over in Disney Springs. If I had to compare this to any espresso martini I've had before, I'd be comparing it to Wine Bar George. I don't know, guys. This is fantastic. This is a top espresso martini for me for sure. I can't put it in a top list yet because I still have to come back and try it a couple more times to officially give it a ranking. But I absolutely love this. It's amazing. If you like espresso martinis and you're coming to Bourbon Steak, definitely get it. I was just drinking my espresso martini, and look what was brought to my table. Our complimentary French fry trio. How cool is that? So here at Bourbon Steak, they don't start you off with bread service. They start you off with French fries, and I love that. So right here on the left, we have a truffle fry with a truffle aioli. In the center, we have an herbed fry with some ketchup. And then on the right, we have a paprika fry with some bourbon steak sauce. And of course, we can mix and match all of the flavors together, but this is just what you're recommended to eat them with. And let me just tell you guys, these all smell insane. Now, they might smell insane here because these French fries are actually fried in duck fat. So yeah, the attention to detail, even just in the complimentary table snack, goes crazy. And my server actually let me know that it's a trio because Michael Mina used to have a restaurant that he only served things in threes. So it's kind of like a nod to that. And I think that's really, really cool. But we're going to dig into this. I don't know. Which one should I start with? I think this is so cool. Like, French fries are, as much as I love bread, I've never had a meal that's you get like complimentary French fries, and bread is great, but fries are even better, I feel. Okay, let's start with the paprika fry with the bourbon steak sauce. These feel really, really crispy, guys, and they are coated in a ton of seasoning. Wow, that fry on its own is really good. It has a good flavor from that seasoning. I definitely get that paprika. It tastes almost like a barbecue seasoning in itself. And that steak sauce, really good as well. I really like it. It almost tastes like a Carolina mustard style barbecue sauce. And I don't know if you guys got just how crispy these fries are from that duck fat, but let me give you a little bit of duck fat French fry ASMR here. Now we'll go for the herbed French fry with some ketchup. And actually, I don't even want to try the ketchup yet. Yeah, I've been smelling these French fries since they put them down. They smell so garlicky, and I could just tell you, you guys have to hear how crispy this one is about to be. Oh my God. Wow, when I tell you, you can really taste the duck fat in that fry especially. It's crazy. It gives it such a unique flavor, and all of the herbs and the garlic in that. Wow, I don't even think that fry needs a dipping sauce. I feel like ketchup would actually ruin that French fry. That's how good it is. I don't even want to dip it. Oh my God. But for the sake of the video, I will dip it. I don't know if this is just Heinz or Hunt's, or if they're making this in-house. It does just taste like normal ketchup, but I don't want to dip that in anything. It is too good on its own. And now we have the truffle fry, and I am a sucker for a truffle fry. I absolutely love truffle fries. I want to just try this one on its own as well. Very, very light on the truffle flavor as well, but man, I think these fries are just so delicious. So crispy, perfect salt level on them. I could personally use a little bit more truffle oil, but I could understand like why. Sometimes truffle fries have a little bit too much. These are definitely slightly truffle oiled, But man, the crispness from that duck fat, but they're perfectly fluffy inside. I'm not even kidding you. These are some of the best French fries I have ever had in my life. And they're complimentary. Amazing. Well, I actually do not think the meal could have started any better than with this delicious espresso martini and those delicious French fries, but that was just the very beginning. We still have an entire menu to get into here. And clearly, you can see we have so much to go over. First, I want to start by going over some of the appetizers, and they're all just over here. We've got a ton of seafood. You can see we've got some shellfish just over here. We've got some oysters, some shrimp cocktail. We've got some lobster. We've also got a shellfish platter, 105 buckaroos. You could get some king crab. You could get some caviar. I'll take a couple ounces of that, please. You could get some black truffle bread. Oh my God, wait. I didn't see that. That sounds really good. I love truffle. Oh my gosh, that could be dangerous. They have some salads and other appetizers. They have a hearts of palm salad, a Caesar, a wedge. Ooh, French onion soup. I do love some French onion. They have tuna tartare, the bacon wrapped scallops. That was one of my favorites from the other day. They have instant bacon, a crab cake, and then a truffle treat. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I was able to try some of the appetizers just the other day, so I don't want to order any of the appetizers that I've already tried and enjoyed. I want to try some of the things that I haven't tried yet. So that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about them. I still want to talk about them and let you guys know, because some of the stuff I tried was so good. So I'm going to order something new to me, at least today. And then after I try that, I'm going to review some of the food that I tried the other day with you guys. And of course, what I decided to order tonight is the onion soup gratin. This has caramelized onions, a trio of cheeses, and a garlic baguette for $15. Once again, I am beyond impressed by the looks of this French onion soup. Again, if you look up Kristen's perfect French onion soup, this is a photo of exactly how it will come out, with that burnt cheese not only on the top, but oozing over the edges. I love that crispy burnt cheese. And not only that, but I could tell there's like such a thick layer of cheese. It's a trio of cheeses. They let me know there's mozzarella, Parmesan, and I can't remember the third, exactly what they said. And he said it's like a richer, thicker kind of broth. And I love a French onion soup, so I'm excited to see how this one is. I have a feeling this is going to be a massive cheese pull here. Oh my. This broth is thick, guys. I'm just gonna stop here. It could go on forever. Let's just try this spoonful with like broth and onions and just a little bit of cheese first. This is unlike any French onion soup I have ever had in my life. I've never tasted anything like this, and bear with me, there might be like French onion soup all over my face, even though I've wiped it like 100 times. It's a messy French onion soup, but it's really good. And at first, I didn't know how to feel about it because it is so different. Like, this broth, they were right. It's rich and it's thick. I would more compare it to like a stew or a brown gravy. It's not like a beef broth. It's thick. And there's something about it that it doesn't have that typical like sherry, super oniony French onion soup flavor, but it has like little notes of it. So I didn't know how to feel at first, but then I kept eating it and I could not put the spoon down. And I was like, yeah, this is really, really good. And it's so cheesy. I'm assuming it's because of that mozzarella. I don't know if I've ever had like mozzarella in French onion soup. I don't think that's a normal cheese to have in French onion soup. But it works, and it's really, really good. I mean, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's because like the bread is so melted in here, but everything has kind of just like congealed into one. And usually I'm weird about textures like this because it is kind of like onion soup mush with so much stringy cheese. But For some reason, it just tastes so good. And you know how when you get onion soup and there's so much cheese in it that you have to like cut it apart with a knife because it just congeals together in a weird, sloppy way? This has been on my table now for close to 10 minutes and there's still steam coming out of it and it's still about to like burn my face off as I'm eating it, and the cheese has not gotten into that gloopy, nasty mess yet. This is amazing. Now that we have devoured our French onion soup, I want to go over some of the appetizers that I tried the other day. First up was the Tuna Tartare. This is served with a quail egg, pine nuts, mint, Asian pear, garlic, a trio of chili peppers, and a habanero sesame oil. Now, I did just get a little sampling of this, so it wasn't the full serving. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the flavor of the sesame oil that came through, and it did have a rich flavor from that quail egg. However, I didn't think it was anything really to stand out. One thing I didn't care for with it was that it was just served on like toast. I prefer my tuna tartare to be served on more of like a wonton chip. I think that would have given it more of a unique, crunchy flavor. I did like the tuna, but didn't really care much for the toast. It was still enjoyable, but out of everything I tried the other day, I think that was the most, not underwhelming, but just one of the things I enjoyed the least, just maybe because everything else was so fantastic. But out of the appetizers, the other thing that I tried was the bacon wrapped scallop, and let me tell you, that was my favorite thing of the day. These are served with Bing cherries, turnips, and a Marcona almond Madeira emulsion. I feel like bacon wrapped scallops are so difficult to master because either the scallop is overcooked and chewy or the bacon is undercooked and chewy. That was just not the case with these scallops here. The scallop was cooked to perfection, as was the bacon. The bacon on the outside was crispy, and that scallop was so tender. But the kicker, that Marcona almond emulsion added the most unique nuttiness to this scallop. It was one of the best like scallop dishes I have ever had in my life. I think I might have eaten like 6 of these half scallops. It was truly one of the like better appetizers I have had on Disney property. If I am coming to Bourbon Steak, it would definitely be between the French onion soup and that scallop dish for me. I absolutely love those scallops, and I would get them again and again when I'm coming here. They were so good, and that emulsion, oh my god, that nuttiness from it. I will be thinking about it for a while. So now that we've gone over all of the appetizers, let's start to take a look over the entrees. And of course, this is a steakhouse, so we're going to have a bunch of different steaks to choose from here. Steaks are going to be up top. We have some simple cut grilled steaks. Now, this is a fancier steakhouse, so it's just going to be the meat. And I believe each steak does come with a little grilled tomato. So they've got a filet, a strip, a ribeye, a porterhouse, and then some salmon here. And then right next to that, we've got some specialty cuts. So you can get some A5 Wagyu. They have a Wagyu rib cap, which I hear is the chef's favorite cut on the menu. They have a New York strip, a cowboy ribeye, and then right below that are going to be some accompaniments. So some different sauces that you could add onto your steak, some different enhancements, some seafood. They have some scallops, some lobster, some prawns you could add on. And then below that are going to be some classics. The lobster pot pie. I hear that's like one of their signature dishes here. They have a smoked tomahawk, a slow roasted prime rib. Oh my god, I tried that the other day. It was incredible. Down here we've got some fish. They have a tuna au poivre. They have a miso broiled sea bass. Another thing I tried the other day, and that was the sea bass was literally the talk of the event. I know this is a steakhouse, but everyone was raving about the sea bass and can confirm it was to die for. Over here we've got some other dishes. The short rib I tried the other day, amazing. They've got a chicken dish, and right below that are sides. They have asparagus, a load of baked potatoes, some spinach, some whipped potatoes, some truffle mac, roasted mushrooms, jalapeno creamed corn, and some broccolini. So we've got a lot of decisions to make. I have not made up my mind as to what steak I want to get. I'm thinking about going all out for the rib cap, but then I'm like, do I really want to spend almost $100 on a steak? So I don't know what to do, guys. It looks like the table next to me has got the lobster pot pie, right? That's the lobster pot pie. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. Tableside presentation. They said I could take a video of it, by the way. I don't want to get them in it, though. Look at that. Well, we've got some lobster in there. I love a good tableside presentation too. Wow, that crust looks so flaky and buttery and delicious. Ooh, the tail. Oh my gosh, they're putting it back together. They're putting the lobster back together. Oh my god, and they got the tomahawk too. Wow. Oh my god, there's the claw. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back with a bunch of friends and get this lobster pot pie. Well, guys, I decided to go for it. I decided to go all out. I heard Chef Michael Mina's favorite cut of steak at this restaurant is the rib cap, so I figured I had to do it. It's my first time at Bourbon Steak. I gotta go all out. So this is the 8-ounce Wagyu rib cap. Cost me $95 for this plate. It is not very often that I get to have a cut of beef that I have never tried before. So, like I said, I had to go all out. And from some research, I found out that a rib cap is like the top of a ribeye, which is actually my favorite cut of beef, but it's supposed to be like super tender. And since it's the chef's favorite cut on the menu, I figured I had to try it. And you could tell just how juicy this steak is. All of the steaks here at Bourbon Steak are butter poached, and it kind of helps to seal in all of the juices into that steak. So this should be a very, very juicy steak here. And I am so excited to try this out. Like I said, I've never had this cut of steak before. It looks really, really good. I didn't even know like what to expect, what this was going to look like on my plate, because I've never as much as seen a rib cap. So it's really interesting. I can't wait to dive in. We've got a nice little steak knife here, custom Bourbon Steak. And you can see on the plate, we've also got a nice tomato here. Now the tomato has been roasted with some bourbon steak sauce, and it also has some gluten-free breadcrumbs on top. They let me know that you're supposed to like kind of rub the tomato onto the steak to give it even more flavor, but I want to try the steak, of course, on its own first. I, of course, ordered my steak medium rare, so we'll cut into this. I'm assuming it's going to be cooked nicely. Oh my gosh. I barely even rocked my knife back and forth. Yeah, this is so tender. I don't even think I have to cut. I think I could literally just place my knife down on this steak and it'll cut through. That took me really by surprise. It's literally, look, did you see me pull the fork out of the steak? It like came apart. That is how tender it is. Holy cow. I mean, I read that it was tender, but I mean, even I wasn't expecting it to be that tender. Wow. Oh my God, now I'm even more excited to try this out. My first ever time trying a rib cap. I'm psyched. I'm speechless. I am absolutely speechless. Oh my God. I don't know if it's just because the steak is butter poached or because it is so tender, but it tastes like butter. It cuts like butter. Wow. That is so incredible. I don't even need a knife. Like, I could just like move the steak apart and grab another piece. This is truly so different because it really is reminding me of a ribeye with like that fattiness and that, you know, like a ribeye has, I feel like, a different, I don't know if it's a texture or a different flavor profile than some other steaks. And it has that, but it is so tender. Wow. This is different. This is different. It's so good. I love it.
So we were right?
I made the right decision. I think it's safe to say I made the right decision.
You can have a filet any other
You're right. Where else on property can I get a rib cap?
I suggest you to slice a little tomato.
That's what he said. I got to put it on top. I know. Yes. I wanted to just try the meat on its own first, and then I'm going to do it.
Good. You did good.
Well, yes, I'm going to get to the tomato in just a minute, but something else I really love about this steak is that charring on it, too. It has like a crisp charring on the top of that steak. Cooked to perfection. Nice flaky salt on top. Buttery in every way possible. This is a splurge, and I almost didn't get it. Because $95 is a lot of money for a steak. I usually would not do this, but I am so happy that I decided to try something new tonight. I did decide to pair my steak with a side of the creamy mac and cheese with black truffles. This side cost me $17. Now, this is a very creamy mac and cheese. It looks more Alfredo-y kind of style rather than like a stringy cheese. I do see some black specks of maybe truffle in here, and I love me some truffle-y kind of flavor. We've got some shell-shaped pastas in there, and I will say this bowl is a little bit tinier than I was maybe expecting. It's not necessarily a shareable side, which you would really kind of expect from like a steakhouse like this. I mean, it's plenty for me because I am ordering like a ton of food, more food than I would ever order if I was not filming a video. But I would say like if you're ordering maybe like sharing an appetizer and each ordering a steak and only planning on sharing one side, this might not be enough. You might have to order like 2 sides to share. This isn't going to do it for you. So all that to say, it's just like not really totally shareable, but it'll be more than enough for me. Let's try out this mac. This is the first thing that I'm not totally loving. The first bite was really gritty and grainy, and I love a sharp cheddar, a sharp cheese, a sharp mac and cheese, but this is so sharp that it's like bitter. Like this is so bitter, and I taste no truffle flavor whatsoever in here. I feel like I'm not tasting much truffle because that cheese is just so incredibly sharp that it's masking any truffle flavor that might have been in here. Oh my god, yeah, it is like so bitter that it's almost sour, and I need a sip of water. So while it's creamy, and I can appreciate that because nothing I hate more than a dry mac. This is not for me. I would not recommend it, and I would not get this again. I'm really interested in that like jalapeno creamed corn. I think if I came again, that is what I would try because that sounds really interesting, like a spicy creamed corn. That's on my list to try next time. Plenty of reason to go right back to my steak and try it with that tomato on top. And while I'm about to do that, I just want to mention that this review was not hosted, not sponsored. I'm paying for 100% of my meal here tonight. I was hosted 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago. I am not hosted tonight. I am paying for this meal. This review is my own. So I don't want you to think that this is like not an honest review because I've enjoyed most of it. This is my honest thoughts. I was not paid off to say this stuff. Let's try this tomato. That's good. It has an interesting sweet, smoky zing and a little crunch too. I like it, but I just think the steak has such fantastic flavor on its own that I don't want to like ruin it with the tomato. Ooh, guys, I am stuffed, but while we have some time before desserts, I want to go over some of the entrees that I tried the other day so I could show you guys and kind of talk about them and let you know what I enjoyed. So one of the things that I got to try was the slow roasted prime rib. This is served with a blue cheese popover, fresh horseradish, and a black truffle au jus. This beef was so tender, and that black truffle au jus was rich. Usually I am not a fan of blue cheese, but I like blue cheese. I always say I like blue cheese when it's done tastefully. It can add a good, almost rich flavor, and I feel like it did just that. It was done so tastefully that it paired perfectly with the popover, with the beef, with the au jus. It was just the perfect pairing. I definitely highly recommend that dish. Sticking with the beef, another thing that I really enjoyed was the short rib, the red wine braised Wagyu short rib. This is served with a shallot jam, whipped celery root, and roasted bone marrow. This beef was just so tender, it really just melted away in your mouth. And similarly, it had almost like a rich flavor from the gravy and the braising liquid that it was in. And I like that like little crunchy, almost like a crunchy shallot that was on top. So good. Another thing that I tried a ton of. I really enjoyed both of the beef dishes I tried, between the prime rib as well as the short rib. Really, if you're not going to get like a steak, I definitely would recommend either the prime rib or that short rib. But if you're more in the mood for seafood, I could not recommend that Seabass anymore. I told you guys a little bit earlier, the talk of the event was this miso broiled Seabass. Wherever you went, every single creator at this event was talking about this Seabass. Everyone had it in their hand. Everyone was raving about it. And it was for a good reason. And we're at a steakhouse. So, I mean, they're of course going to have some seafood options, but you know, you wouldn't expect them to be as good as this bass was, but it was just absolutely fantastic. It almost had like a stickiness from like the broil on the top, and that miso came through with such a deep umami flavor. It was really just fantastic. It was buttery. Another thing that just like melted away in your mouth. It was so tender, cooked to perfection. If you're in the mood for seafood, or honestly, if you're wanting something on the cheaper side, because it is only $42, that's a great option for you there. I think it was definitely a standout on the menu. Like I said, everyone was raving about it, and it's for a good reason.
Let's take a look over the dessert, guys. This is what we're working with. There are only 5 options here, so that's good. We'll keep our options simple. Actually, it's not going to be easy because I already am seeing, oh no, I see like 3 different things that I want. Those warm beignets and dipping custard. Oh my god, that sounds amazing. And I feel like that would be like perfect to share. It has a butterscotch pudding creme brulee with fresh raspberries and milk chocolate. Oh my god, that just sounds amazing. They also have a key lime Napoleon. That's something else I would normally go for, but this Bruleed Basque cheesecake I saw the other day, I think that's what I have to go for. I tried this Bourbon Steak chocolate bar and it was really good, but super rich. But if you like peanut butter and chocolate, that's going to be the dessert for you. This actually sounds really cool too. They have Michael's On the Rocks root beer float with sassafras ice cream and signature walnut chip cookies. So interesting. So 5 really unique desserts, but ultimately I gotta go with that Bruleed Basque cheesecake.
This has roasted Harry's strawberries, Grand Marnier, and a turbinado crunch for $15.
So this is a Basque style cheesecake, so it's gonna be a little bit burnt. On the back you can see that style of Basque cheesecake coming through, and then on the front here you can see our brulee on the top there. So we should have some crispy sugar. Oh yeah, but it's like really nice and creamy on the inside, I can tell. Oh my god, oh my gosh, it's almost like creme brulee on this set. Wow, that texture is crazy. I wish you guys could have just like felt what I felt digging into that.
Guys, I have high hopes with this one. And they are being met for sure. Wow, that is so interesting because it has all of those cheesecake flavors, but it's like married perfectly with a creme brulee, and it has that consistency and the texture of a creme brulee. Like, it looks on the outside like a New York style cheesecake, and it looks like it's going to be very heavy and thick, but once you get into it and once you taste it, it is so bizarrely light and almost custardy. and that crispy sugar on the outside. It is perfect with the strawberries because the strawberries just add like a little bit of sweetness with the cheesecake. This is really good. Really, really good. What a fantastic meal at Bourbon Steak too. Absolutely no surprise because everything I had at media night a few days ago was amazing. So I expected everything today to be great, and it surely was. Honestly, that was one of the better meals I have had on Disney World property in recent memory. The service, fantastic. The quality, fantastic. The flavor, fantastic. And I think you're gonna get some really unique dishes at Bourbon Steak as well. Some things that you can't find anywhere else on property. Where else on property are you going to find a complimentary flight of duck fat French fries or a rib cap steak? I don't think there's anywhere else serving that. And by no means am I saying this is an affordable meal. It's definitely one of the meals that you are going to splurge on if you're coming to Bourbon Steak. It is a pricey restaurant, but if you're celebrating something or you're wanting more of a fine dining feel, this is definitely a spot to consider. On the topic of splurging, I did find out that the only discount they accept at Bourbon Steak right now is a DVC discount. They have a 10% DVC discount. There's no annual pass holder discount or anything like that right now. But not only do I think Bourbon Steak is serving up one of the best steaks that you're gonna find on Disney property, I think they're serving up one of the best overall meals you are gonna be able to grab on Disney World property. But I wanna hear from you guys. I know there are probably a lot of diehard Shula's fans watching. Let me know what you guys think of the change from Shula's to Bourbon Steak down below in the comments. And if you've gotten the chance to try Bourbon Steak already, let me know your guys' thoughts on this restaurant so far. But I am already looking forward to my next trip back to Bourbon Steak, bringing my friends, bringing my family. There's still so much more of the menu that I want to try, but thank you guys so much for checking out this video. Thank you to everyone over on Patreon for your support. I appreciate all of you. If you enjoy honest Disney food reviews and you don't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.